Hi there, it's Eva here again. And in this particular video, I'm going to talk about entities. A lot of people have been asking me about entities, so I thought I make these short videos explaining a little bit more about entities, and perhaps you might be able to gain some insight, some useful tools that you can use in handling or dealing with entities, and perhaps get rid of your fear about entities. A lot of people have asked me questions about what are entities, why are they here, and what can we do about them, what are the effects, why should we be aware of them. So I thought with this talk, and I'd like to give some simple explanation perhaps, and give you some clarity and some awarenesses regarding entities. And the question about what are entities and why should we know about them, why should we be aware of them? Because what are entities? Entities are different beings that most of them have passed on, and some people call them spirit or ghosts or in disembodied beings. There are beings that have no bodies. I should say disembodied bodies, but they have a different kind of embodiment, different densities to their embodiment. So most entities are those beings that when they passed on to another reality after they leave their body here, some of them are stuck in identities and time, space, so dimension or other realities. And some people say there are disembodied beings that are still earthbound. So whatever you call them, I suggest that not defining them is a better way to approach it, because the more you define them, the more we get blocked or not aware of their presence around us. So people ask me, so how can you tell if there is an entity around you, in the house, or in the garden, in the car, in the room, in your business, or sometimes they are inside the people's body, inhabiting people's body, or in the animal's body, like bodies of cats, the dogs, the animals like horses, cows, birds, entities, because of the different embodiment or densities of their body, as some people call them spirits. They're able to enter different embodiments with ease. They're not as solid. They don't have a solid embodiment as we do in this particular flesh that we are embodying. So it's not hard for them to enter those different types of bodies with ease. So now, as the question is, you might ask, how can you tell when there's entity in the building or the house or in your animals or in the people's body? You can, as I say, I'm going to show you some simple tools that you could use to perceive the energies of entities and how to clear them. Because sometimes when entities enters the person's body or animal's body, they can cause havoc in that particular embodiment, because some entities, say for example, if they died of some disease, say for example cancer or drug addiction or alcoholism or whatever kind of diseases they died of, when they entered the body of people or animals, they tend to trigger that same illness in the body of that host, or the body that they entered. And you find people get the same disease and animals die of the same disease that that particular entity died of. So it's best, it's not a good idea to have them inhabiting your body or the animal's body. It's best to clear them. Not all entities are evil or malicious or that sort of thing. Some entities, there are some good entities, there are some kind entities, there are some good entities, there are some entities that are there to support us and give us assistance and be a good friend to us, and there are some entities that are mean, nasty, vicious, or malicious, or evil. It's just like people, there are some kind and caring and loving people, and there are some who are evil and not so nice and vicious people. So it's just like the entities, that they have different awarenesses and consciousness and levels of beingness. So we have to be aware and conscious in dealing with entities, just as we are with people or animals or whatever is in front of us, whatever energy is in front of us. So regarding the questions, how can you tell when there's an entity present in the house or in the body of people or animals, and how can you tell are they kind or good or conscious entities or not? So for this particular question, I would suggest a simple tool that perhaps you could use in how to perceive these energies, what kind of energies you are dealing with. Say, for example, how many times have you ever experienced that sometimes when you walk into a room, right? Walking through the forest too, or in the garden, or in a house, or inside your car, sometimes you can feel that there's a presence, an energy there that you can feel, but you look around, there's no one there. And people say to me, yeah, one day I walked into a house and there was no one there, and all the hairs on my arms, the back of my neck, my hairs all stand up, and I can feel this energy that's someone or something in that room, or as I walk through the forest or in that garden, or as I went inside that car or the car park or something, and when I see that animal, I could feel it, but I couldn't see it. What is that? That's somehow most people can perceive and feel the energy of entities. Now entities, some people say to me that, do entities always have the shape or silhouette of human beings? Not all. Some entities don't take particular structure, shape, or form, or don't have a silhouette of a human being or animal, or anything. Some of them is just a free-flowing energy, like wind, changing, flowing, malleable, and always transforming. They haven't taken any particular structure, shape, or form. So you cannot define entity as you cannot define entities by saying that they have definite shape, structure, or form, because when you do, you're blocking yourself in being able to be aware or being able to perceive these entities and their energies that surround us. So, okay, when you feel self-exhausted, you walk into a house and you feel these energies that there's an entity there, but you're not sure what kind of entity it is. So ask the question. Asking the question empowers you and the entities to have more awareness and consciousness, and to be able to deal with the situation. Now, when you walk into the room, I taught this particular tool, technique for people to use. When you can perceive the energy, there's an entity there. I want you to take notice. Take notice of the energy in the room, or what you're perceiving as you're walking through the forest, or the garden, as you get inside the house or the room or in a car or wherever. Feel the energy. Notice how you feel in your heart. Did you feel expansive? Did you feel joyful, happy, peaceful at heart? Did you feel some sort of inspiration, as if there's this soft, blowing, gentle, caressing energy of wind, like a feather touch of perhaps of an angel or a spirit guide or some kind and caring, loving, supportive entity or guide that surround you? When you feel this energy, you feel inspired and light and airy and happy and peaceful at heart. That is the feeling of the energy of a good or kind, caring entity. Perhaps that you are asking for some facilitation or support or help. When you ask the universe, oh, I need some help regarding this particular matter, help me, universe. Perhaps that's the way that entities heard your plea and come around you in order to support you. It could be a group or legions of angels or your ancestors or your dear good friend or your parents, that beloved ones that passed away, that came back to give you support and healing. And so that's the way you can tell their very presence and how you feel, how this beautiful feeling of having them around you. So now on the other hand, when you start to feel the opposite, oh, I feel so dense and heavy and solid, and I feel this intense sadness or fear. That's the energy of what you call perhaps not so good or evil entities surrounding you. That, if you would like to, you can clear and tell them to go, because you are the boss. You are the one with the body. They haven't got the body, so you're the boss. You own your body, so you can tell them to go and leave you alone and clear the magnetic imprinting that they left in the bodies of people or animal in you and around the area. So that's why it's not a good idea to have them hanging around us, because some, as I say, some entities can cause, as I was talking about it in the other video that I made about depression, some entities can cause depression, stress, worry, fear, and prostration, hopelessness, and so many emotional trauma and sufferings that people have. Sometimes it's because of the entities surrounding them, or some of the entities even got inside their body, that's triggering this emotion, this painful, horrible emotions that some people are feeling. So it's for me, it will help a lot if you clear the entities from them, and you will notice the big difference. So as I say, I'm going to teach you how to clear entities. A very short and easy way of doing it. And some entities also, as I say, could be there to support you and help you. So ask them, okay, entities, who are you? Why are you around me? What's the purpose of hanging around me? Do you have any message? Okay, are you here to support me or help me or expand my universe, or are you here to contract me, or what's the purpose? So the moment you ask that questions, you will have the awareness, you will have the consciousness and the knowing why are they for. So you have a choice, either to keep them, let them help you, or clear them, let them go and set them free. So ask them, okay, the moment you ask that question and you feel the awareness of what they're there, so allow them. If they're there to help you, perhaps you ask for someone to facilitate you and help you in doing some particular job or some issues that you need to have some facilitation, and they're there to help you, then let them, and then set them free. And if they're not, let them go, and then therefore you are not being blocked or limited by these energies. So a simple tool. Number one is to say, always ask a question. Asking questions give them clarity, empowers them to be conscious enough to know that what's happening to them, because some entities not even aware that they have died and they have no body. So ask them, who are you? Why are you here? Are you aware that you have no body? You know, are you aware that you have died and now you are now just a spirit and you have no body? Then some entities not even aware that they have died and they have no body. By asking that question, they go, oh, straight away they go zoom, very, very quickly, because they're not aware of that particular thing. So ask them, why are you here? What's the purpose? What, do you have any message? Then listen. You know, entities don't, sometimes some entities answer you in verbally, like as if you're talking to someone. Some entities download information and messages in a different way, energetically. Sometimes you may not be able to understand it straight away. So persevere and just allow them to give you or download this information energetically, and perhaps the clarity will come to you either the next 3 days or in a dream. You will perceive what they're trying to tell you. Keep asking, and ask them to tell you slowly and in a way that you'll be able to understand, and somehow later or sooner you will be able to understand and have awareness of what they're trying to tell you. And then ask them, okay, like asking them all the time, why are you here? What's your message? What's the purpose of hanging around this person or getting inside the body of the person? Is this truly what you want? Is this working for you? Straight away you ask those questions, people go, the entities go, oh, okay. They become aware of they have other choices, and then I keep asking them questions about, you have other lifetimes of different kinds of embodiment, by asking them, who were you before you took on this embodiment, and who were you before that, who you were before that, and you were before that. And then show them that in the future they can have other choices too, and who will you be in the future. By you asking that question, they become aware that they have other choices, that there's in the future they can choose what they want to be. Then tell them, you can go and get another body and perhaps take a different kind of embodiment, or come back, or go to other planet, explore the universe. Infinite choices exist for you in the universe. So by showing them the choices that they have and making them aware of that they're not only an entity, that they had other embodiment, other lifetime after lifetime, that they can again move on and have a different kind of existence. So, and then as soon as you felt that this entity is gone, you just ask for all the magnetic imprinting. These are just energy that residual energy that might have left in the body of the animals or people or in the house. Just ask for it. Just all the magnetic imprinting left by the entities, let it go, clear it. Just clear it, let it go. So that's the quick way of handling and dealing with some entities. And I will also quickly show you another way of clearing entities from your body or the animals, because sometimes when entities enter the body of animals, they also can cause problems health-wise for the animals. Some animals even die of having entities in their bodies. Some humans take on the body of animals, and sometimes some people will say, while they're still in the flesh and alive, they might even say, oh, I envy horses because they don't do anything, they just run around all day, have fun. Perhaps in my next lifetime I want to be a horse, or I want to be a dog, or I I want to be a bird flying in the sky so freely and so beautiful and so free and blah blah blah. And so when they died and the next lifetime they go and inhabit those creatures. So, and when they get inside the body of those creatures, those animals, sometimes they will feel trapped, and they say, oh, I don't think so, I'm not really happy being in the body of a horse or a dog or bird or fish or whatever. And then they decided, oh, I want to get out, and they can get out, and they trigger the same diseases or illness that in which they died of in that particular last lifetime that they had. And so they start killing or creating illnesses and diseases in the body of those animals. So by knowing, perceiving these energies inside those animals and people, knowing what to do is a good tool to help the animals and the people. So by being more aware and conscious enough of the presence of these beings and their energies they're causing in the bodies of the people and animals, by knowing what to do, how to set them free, and how to clear them, is a very good ability and talent that we all can use, because there's lots and lots and trillions and billions and trillions and billions and trillions and trillions of entities on planet Earth. We are not the only being that occupies planet Earth. Whether you believe or not about the existence of these entities is irrelevant, because the truth is they are there. By refusing not to be aware of them doesn't mean to say, cutting off your awareness about them doesn't mean to say they don't exist. They're still there. Whether you are willing to perceive them or not, they are there regardless. So we might as well face them and be aware enough to handle the situation and handle this entity, so you have a choice, and they do not become or you do not become a victim of entities, and they have no power over you. So I hope that I give you some clarity regarding this. And if you want to know more about it, you want to ask me more questions, or if you can perceive some energies of